2, 1. Hello and welcome to Dead Man's Yarn. I'm Sci-Fi. I'm here with my lovely bunch. Introduce yourself, guys, again. Or don't. I'll.
Let's not all go at once.
Well, let's go down the line. Kimmy.
Hi, I'm Kimmy, and I will be playing Cordelia, a water genasi druid.
Paul.
I'm Paul, playing Trill, the half-elf warlock.
Kerry.
Hi, I'm Carrie, and I am playing the owl Aarakocra called Artemia.
And Tiny.
Hello, I am Tiny, and I'm playing Kai, the half-orc barbarian.
So we've got a little recap from last week, which was done in the musings of one of the characters that the guys have already met. It's up on YouTube if anyone wants to go watch it. I'm just going to do it quickly, and then we're going to get cracking on with the story. So, allow me to assume my persona. How tiresome. Our heroes washed up upon the shores of Kirktongue, and after a run with a would-be folktale, the Red Wake, immediately starting causing problems. Little did they know they had been marked by the sea. They are now awakened. After meeting yours truly, they were brought before the local governor, who at best wanted to use them as entertainment. At worst, a distraction from his own ineptitude. The buffoon. Our heroes find themselves imprisoned, but that will not stand. I took it upon myself to free them and send them north to escape via Port Anders, a now deserted town. However, they insist upon helping me with my governor problems, yet they do not know what they'll be getting into. Upon reaching Port Anders, they come across the adventurer Nathaniel Gallaglass, who I'm just dying to meet. I'm sure this headache won't get any worse. Recap over.
Yeah.
The way we left off the last session is the four adventurers met Nathaniel Gallaglass in Port Anders, the abandoned town on the north of the island, and they all boarded the ship to spend the night there. That's where we rejoined them, really. So, without further ado, we are on board the ship, on the deck currently, and Nathaniel Gallaglass is with you. It is night time as well, if you'd forgotten.
So this is before any
Is it
longer.
us just hanging out at nighttime or the next morning? Sorry.
It's the nighttime.
We literally left it off as you boarded the ship.
Oh.
So nothing else has happened.
Oh, okay.
Literally, I think
I think it's like evening or becoming nighttime right now.
Yeah. Peter. Yeah.
it is literally rolling into nighttime right now.
Okay.
So, you mentioned that the Red Wake is just a legend. Does that mean there's different kinds of wake?
Not necessarily, lass. The Red Wake is the Red Wake, although the Red Wake isn't a thing, lass. Forget I said that.
So, how did you become awakened then? Or was there a different wake that got you, or?
No, lass, you're getting things confused. The Red Wake and the Waking aren't the same thing, or... The Red Wake doesn't even exist, so the Waking is something separate, lass.
Well, we became awakened after seeing the Red Wake and washing up on the shore of this island.
Sorry, Paul, you were saying?
So, we became awakened, or so Albin told us, after seeing the Red Wake and going overboard and waking up here, what made you awaken?
Bit of a personal tale, lad. I lost my ship. But anyway, enough about this. Have you got any questions about the Thousand Island and not just superstition?
We don't know much about the, oh, sorry.
No, you good.
Oh, I was just going to say that we don't know much about the Thousand Islands in general, but do you know much about this island and the governor here?
Only what my friend had told me. That he's not a very particularly nice man. He inherited it because of his connections back home. His family connections.
What about the other islands? What's out there?
Well, where to begin? There's all sorts of adventures to be had in the Thousand Islands. Although the further west you go, the wilder it gets. I could tell you wonderful tales, terrifying tales, like Isle de Morte or Isle de Asina or Isle of Chimes. Each just as bad as the last. But if you want your civilised lands, oh well, Cape Sovereign's the best place to start, despite it being under the control of McTavish.
How far away exactly is Cape Sovereign from here?
About 300 miles, lad.
Oh, that's a really high number.
Is that where we were heading? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately that's where we should be instead of here.
I'm trying to think, is there anything else we need to ask this fine gentleman?
Well, I can regale you of some fine tales, drama persona, if you will. I could tell you the
Let's have
tale.
it then.
Pardon, wee lass?
Let's hear it then.
Well, I could regale you of tales of Bale the Crimson, the Man of Fire, or his arch nemesis, Scarlet. Oh, there's the Mad Dog, or even Catalina, the Empress of the Iron Fleet. Oh, I could go on for hours, lads and lasses.
Are they pirates?
Oh, the fiercest ones.
Ooh. They sound exciting, but terrifying at the same time.
They're no bad people if you're on the right side. If you're on the wrong side, though, obviously that's where the problems start. Except for Mad Dog. Mad Dog. I don't think he's got a good side, that one.
Oh.
Do you think any of these people could cause an entire town to vanish?
Not really their MO, lad, but... Well, in the case of Bale, there'll be a lot more things on fire.
Do you know if there's been any other towns that have disappeared like this?
Like this lass. He stops and ponders for a little bit. You know, now that you mention it, I think I have heard of one other town like this, but that was a fair while ago now.
Where was that?
On one of the northern islands, past Cape Sovereign. But that was, would have been about the time I first arrived in the Thousand Islands, about 5 years ago.
5 years ago. Did they ever find out what happened to them?
Nay, lass, there's more than enough things to keep you busy in the Thousand Islands.
So, when we were walking through the town to get here, we saw like there was no disturbance. It was just like a ghost town. There was no damage or anything.
Aye, I came to the same conclusion, lad. No signs of a struggle. quickly out of character. Is Kerry there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's much better.
It's just I've been waiting for the Wi-Fi to stabilize. Sorry. You could just imagine me like pecking on the floor for like seed or something.
Just and the captain is
Something
now
bird.
yeah. Nathaniel is
Hey,
now
but I'm
staring
hunched
at you.
over, I'm only 5'8".
Nathaniel is now staring at you, pecking at his deck, going, "Aye, I haven't missed your kind at all, lass."
And I quickly stand up and I just like kind of like hobble over like, what do you mean?
Fought a war against your kind, lassie, and let's just say it wasn't the proudest moment of my life.
You fought in a war against our people?
One of them, aye.
One of them. My people are not too fond of outsiders, so I'm not too surprised.
Aye, you got some strange customs and habits about you. And he stares back at the bit of the deck that you were pecking at.
I'll try to contain myself from now.
Hey, didn't worry, lass. I think that board needed replacing anyway. Now, I can regale you with some more tales, lads and lasses, but how about we retire for the night? I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to talk in the morning.
Oh,
That sounds
speaking
good.
of the morning, there would be a captain of the guard coming from the other port to meet us, just so you aren't surprised in the morning.
I remember you saying I'll post one of your lads up to keep a watch out.
Thank you.
So he shows you below bed, and there's some hammocks in like one of the rooms off the main hold. As you go downstairs, there is the 7 automatons, but there's an 8th one in the corner, broken down.
Oh,
What happened to him?
what happened to that dude?
Ah, he never worked right, that one. Couldn't follow orders very well. I told him to duck and he didn't, so Cannonball took his top half off.
Oh,
I'm trying to fix him, but I'm not that way inclined, if you know what I mean.
I see.
Or didn't you have someone make these for you?
Aye. I haven't been able to track them down since, unfortunately. Guess we're paths never crossed.
Well, what's their name? Maybe one day we'll find them.
Ah, you put an old man on the spot now, lass. I cannot remember. I think it began with a B. Belline? Belline. Bellini, that's it. That's the lad.
Bellini.
And I haven't just named that after what's on my computer screen.
I thought of the cocktail.
So
And the other two are Mimosa and
Tortellini. So he shows you in and he offers you a little bit of a bow and leaves you to get a night's sleep. So you're all kind of having a long rest. So literally you can reset your spell slots and any health that you've lost.
yay.
You awake in the morning to the sound of the gulls overhead. Are you just heading up onto deck to see what's what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
So you come up onto the deck. It's a lovely day. It's still early morning and everything, but the sun's high and the waves are lapping against the shore. If it wasn't for the fact that there was this abandoned town right next to you, it would be paradise. Well, I suppose there's no people. I guess that is sort of my paradise.
Yeah.
We were like, yeah, this could be a good living.
Who wants to inherit a town? Could you all roll me a... Oh, well, actually, I'll quickly say there is one of the automatons on the deck keeping an eye out, and the captain sort of like slumped... Well, Nathaniel Gallagher is slumped on the stairs, sort of half asleep. He hasn't quite woken up just yet.
I said I was weird, but why is he sleeping on the stairs?
I'm sure there's reasons. Maybe it's good for his back. Could you all roll me a perception check, please?
Perception.
Atomy is in the lead. Tiny's coming up the rear. Okay.
Nope.
Cordelia and Trill, you are actually quite confused as to why he's sleeping on the stairs. Tyne, in the distance through the town, you can see a group of people approaching. Artemia, you can see that too, but with your wonderful neck abilities, you spin round and you can see something else along the shoreline about 500 metres away or so.
Oh.
There is a canine-like creature pulling itself from the sea with something in its mouth.
Oh.
Right.
Okay. I tell the person like, okay, I can see that our wanted group is arriving, maybe, but there seems to be something horrible happening at the shore.
Horrible.
Something canine with something in its mouth. You know, it's like even if it's a cat, you know, it's not going to be good.
So the captain sort of stirs up from his slumber, like, yeah, what's you yabbering about, lass?
Captain Galaglas, do you have a spyglass?
Aye, I do. He stands up and goes to the prow of his ship, which is the direction that this creature is, and he pulls out his scope and looks at it, and he goes, didn't worry, lass. They'll leave us alone. And he hands you the spyglass.
What do I see?
You see a very, very large wolf, which has a sort of like a crystalline structure around its neck, and in its mouth that it's now got onto the top of these rocks that it's perched on is a shark, which it's now proceeding to eat.
Oh my god! A
That's
shark!
a very large wolf.
What kind of shark? Like a big shark, or like kind of like a smaller like hammerhead one?
Hammerheads aren't that small, but yeah, I would say about. It's not like a great white shark size sort of thing, but it's about a 4 foot shark, 4 or 5 foot shark.
It's a big fish and a big wolf.
Can I ask, is it normal for wolves around here to have jewelry?
Those wolves, aye, that's a saber wolf, lass, and if you ever see one, I'd recommend you give it a wide berth.
So did somebody put that crystal around its neck, or is it just born that way?
Born, nay lad, but it happens over time. Their fur starts to crystallise. Might be all the salt water they get in their system.
Hmm. Can I turn around with the spyglass and look at the group of people that are approaching?
You can. As you do, the captain carries on with his tale about the saber wolf. If you see one, it normally means there's more about. So, just they ain't daft. They'll stay away from you if you stay away from them. If you know what I mean.
Very well.
As Artemia looks, there is Captain Olburn approaching into the town, essentially where you originally entered here. And he's got six guards with him, all with rifles.
Oh. I would normally ask, does he look angry? But, you know, I think that's just perpetual angriness face.
Yeah, I think it's just.
So...
I think it's more, I'm tired of your shit. Oh no, I swore, damn it.
Oh. Hey, the counter's going up.
Good for us.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that I have added a new stipulation, and I feel as we go on I'm going to add more stipulations. There is now possible Messiahs slain counter.
Messiah slain?
Yeah, because you killed Wasp Jesus last time.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
What?
You killed the wasp, and then you pointed out that Paul wasn't attacking that wasp; it was another one. So that wasp regained life. He walked amongst the living once more, and then died again.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
And in the short lifespan, it felt like he was alive for 2 or 3 days.
well, he came back and went, "I am your Messiah, bow before me," and then you killed him. Um, anyway, so Alburn is entering into the town square as you speak now with these 6 guards.
I tell the group, I tell them, I see Allburn, but he seems to be with a group of, I guess armed guards. They don't really seem like they're here to talk.
Well, he
Well,
did
he
tell
did
us
say-
that he was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you.
He did say he was coming with some local leaders. I think he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just suggest we talk to him from this higher perch of the ship. Yes, I will try and throw in a bird puns anytime I can.
I'm sorry, I just got Star Wars there. Sorry.
We have the high ground.
You underestimate our muskets.
Yeah. So I suggest we just kind of watch them from here. They'll see us, I think.
Ugly dog.
Because we're really bad at playing.
No, you are brilliant at playing, and I love you all. But anyway,
Oh, you're so kind.
it's all a lie, really.
He's
not-
giving
it's
us
not
false
all.
hope, just to kill us off later.
To break a little bit of character, I had a D&D group, and they said all the monsters were too tough, and I'm sat there going, "You're all alive still. They can't be that tough." Anyway, so Allburn's currently he's pretty much reached the well now when he's got his 6 guards behind him who've sort of like got into like a uniform line. They don't have their guns drawn and they're like hung over their shoulders. They're not looking aggressive or anything, but they're not who he said he was going to bring.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it was going to be leaders he's bringing. These don't look very leadery to me.
They look very shooty to me.
Does it look like he's making his way towards the port, or is he just hanging around the area?
From what you can see, he's just sort of stood there. He's taking stock of the area. He's looking around, but he's not moving from his spot. He's got one hand on his hip and the other hand on the sword handle.
Should we try waving him over?
You can try.
Okay. I'll be like, yoo-hoo! Captain Allburn over here!
Roll me a performance, please.
Oh my god, performance. Oh, damn!
Oh,
My songbird is coming out.
So I was going to be really mean and say he would never hear you, but yeah, I've got no chance of stopping that. So yeah, he hears you and he sort of like looks over, and even from this distance, you just see him raise an eyebrow, like.
His eyebrow is practically off of his face right now. Hey, but like I'm a bird. Like I'll be like, if I could do like swoopy swoops in the in the air, like
swoops.
how could they not see it?
Technical term. Swoopy swoops.
That's how they call it in my place.
Let me play you the song of my people. So he sort of like gestures towards his guards, who then proceed to not scatter about maliciously, but they start like walking towards buildings to like search them, and he starts to walk towards the pier by himself. He gets like the end of the pier and stops, and then you see him tapping his foot on the pier.
I think he wants us to meet him halfway.
Yeah. Alright. I jump off the ship onto the pier.
Are the rest of you following, or...?
I climb down carefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, guys, I've got wings, you don't.
Yeah.
Oh,
I take my time.
I'm so tempted to make you roll an acrobatics now to see if you fall on your face.
I'll do it anyway, because I'll
Yeah.
try to do a soupy swoop as I do it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you got +7 to acrobatics. You got no chance, have you?
Good God.
So you glide down off the ship onto the pier with no issue.
I'm quite well enough to do a soupy swoop as I do it.
Chris, are you still there in chat, or have you taken issue with me saying there's nobody watching us? No, thank you, Chris.
Aw, thank you, Chris.
Yes, Chris is going to live vicariously through you four. So yeah, you jump down onto the pier, and you've. I'm guessing you're approaching Olburn.
Yeah, I just walk up.
Captain, have you come for your hug?
Both his hands are firmly placed on his hips, and he's sort of looking at you with deadpan eyes. What did I tell you about loose lips?
They sink ships?
In a manner of speaking, yes. Did you meet some traders by any chance?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Who proceeded to head straight to Kirktongue and speak tales of the four that they'd met in the jungle.
Maybe.
Don't think we said anything untoward.
No, you didn't. But as soon as the mention of you four passed their lips, I was dispatched to capture you all again.
Oh.
You are all
Well,
just
we can
lucky.
sail away right now, and we'll be out of here.
That is what I wanted from you from the start, was it not? But you're lucky that I was able to gather up 6 men I can trust.
I look past him to see if any of these trusted men are taking position on us.
No, they're not. Sorry, out of character again. The bleeping is still there. Has anybody got Discord open or anything like that?
No.
No.
I swear.
None of them are currently.
Okay.
They are literally in the houses or around about the houses looking, just like inspecting them.
Traders and snitches.
Did we say anything to them? We didn't, did we?
You mentioned you'd come from Kirktongue.
Yeah. And we're kind of like an obvious bunch, aren't we?
They do sort of stand out, yeah.
Yeah, just a bit.
So are you going to take us in then, or what's going to happen next?
I'm not going to capture the people that I just released, no.
Very kind of you.
It would cause more headaches for me.
Will we wanted dead or alive?
Oh, the governor still very much wants you alive for his little ceremony.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What would happen if we solved the mystery of this port? Would he be less inclined to put us in the midnight walk?
the Olburn sort of like raises his hands up to his head and presses his temples and like, you are failing to see the problem here. This town is an issue, of course, but one that I can't afford to deal with right now. We were days away from getting rid of the governor, and that is my highest priority right now.
Ooh, how are you going to get rid of the governor?
Well, we have two ways, I suppose. We can either take it by force and force him to resign, or we prove that he's responsible for the disappearances back in Kirktongue.
Is that the-
So, say we forget about this abandoned town for now, and we help you with the governor instead. That'll solve both our problems, wouldn't it?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Well, as interesting as this place is, and how I'd like to figure that out, I'd rather not have someone on our tail
If
for the rest
you,
of the
out of character, if you guys remember, Tiny overheard that the governor's guest might have had something to do with the town.
Damien.
Damien.
Sunlightless friend keeps to himself.
And just to
Doesn't
clarify as well,
hide.
the disappearances of Port Anders and the disappearances from Kirktongue, as far as you're aware, are not related.
Not related.
Right.
You haven't found anything to suggest that they are related.
Yeah, the disappearances from Port Anders feels like a natural event, like a magical event, and the one in the governor sounds like foul play.
Yes. Yeah, I couldn't put it better
Yeah.
Is
myself.
that what you say, foul play? Yep.
Pretty much it. Then, unfortunately, I was going to bring the local leaders who I have been in contact with to meet you, but my hand was forced to bring guards instead.
So we saw a dire wolf down by the beach. Maybe you could just go back and say we got mauled by some.
An interesting proposition. Although, it's also a bit worrying that there are direwolves on the island at this time of year.
Well,
Is that not normal?
They may have followed one of the migratory packs, or the herds of animals that come to this island. So I wouldn't give it too much thought, but they don't tend to bother human settlements. It's only if you're beyond the walls that they start to get a bit of an issue. Silence. Sorry.
So say we give you something to show that maybe we perished in the forest around here. You take it back, prove that we're dead. We stay hidden, meet with your leaders on the sly.
That won't be necessary, and I believe that the time has passed, and we must put actions into motion now rather than wait on it. After releasing you, I believe the governor and his little lackey has become suspicious of me. Something that I could have played down in the long run if you had just left the island.
If we left the island, would they come after us, or would they just leave well enough alone?
How would they know where you've gone? Do you really think the
don't
governor would expend that much effort?
Don't by looking at him, he doesn't know what effort means.
Indeed. But if you're going to stay and help, As I said, there are the two options. Either take it by force, or gather information so we may force him to resign.
Oh.
I mean, our faces are known to him, so I do think it'd be quite hard for us to try and sneak in and pretend to be, like, servants or anything.
And again, is the guards you brought with you, is this the extent of those loyal to you? Or is there
No.
more?
I could sway a good number of them knowing that it is me that signs their pay.
So
Well,
would
you're
it not
right,
be
we're well-
easy to have them all? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Would it not be easy to kind of get them on your side and take the place by force?
Then I guess I won't have any need for you. I suppose you should just leave the island then.
I like force. I think we should take it by force.
I agree. I think it'll be a lot easier considering we're already well known. We can't hide, we may as well strike while we can.
Yeah. We're a powerful bunch, aren't we?
More than capable.
She likes to start fires.
That's an option. We start a fire somewhere.
But are there a lot of innocent people who might get hurt if we take it by force?
That is a sound reasoning, yes. And what if it's Damien? What if he turns out to be some all-powerful shooty person? Yeah,
I think
you go ahead, Paul. You go ahead.
I think the captain mentioned last time that he doesn't come outside very often. He's kind of hidden away inside a lot.
True.
Are there any back ways into the mansion that we could use to try and sneak in so that maybe it can be like an targeted thing rather than just killing or hurting everybody? I can't hear Simon.
I'm here.
I can't hear him either.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was just thinking. A back way in, and you were asking if there's some about casualties, potential casualties.
Yeah.
Yeah, like are there a lot of innocent people who would get hurt if we tried to take it by force? And is there a way in that would avoid that?
If you remember, you actually snuck out of the mansion via a passageway. So literally, you could get back in that way and avoid the entirety of the town. The mansion itself is not actually attached to the town.
Okay. How would, if we were able to take out the governor or take down the governor, how would whatever that replaces him or whoever replaces him be viewed? Like if you were in charge, Captain Alburn, would the people view you as a villain or would they be thankful? Like what kind of repercussions would there be? Because if we just leave after this,
I can't exactly see the future, but I'm pretty sure anything's better than what we have. And I'm not exactly going to step up to the position of governor. I'm sure the Empire would just send another one.
I do think that if he's quite tyrannical, probably not only to people in his court, but also the citizens, they would probably be quite happy to see him go.
All right. Well, does this mean that we've decided to try and take him down?
I think it's the best thing we can do.
Yeah.
He knows our faces, and if the traders have already spread a word of us through town, then we can't gather information by talking to people or anything like that. We're best sneaking in the back way while Alban takes fight to the gods that are still loyal to him, and we try and take the governor down and force him to resign.
Yes.
Sorry about that, guys. Just had a little pep talk. So the party has decided that they're going to go help Alban, although he doesn't seem too impressed by it, and go try and overthrow the governor.
Accept our help.
Accept it. Although
Don't resist.
they have actually formulated a plan as well. Do you guys want to talk? Well, would you like to talk through the plan that you've devised? You've had like a little huddle meeting, and Alban sort of stood there going.
So we have decided to set everything on fire.
Right, I'll just check. I will change that counter already, shall I?
Oh no, not everything, just the hut.
There should be an intentional fire and an unintentional fire counter.
They're all unintentional fires.
I feel like one will ensue from the other anyway.
So you any further
So yeah,
elaboration?
a fire to distract. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Sorry, I was
Fire to distract, and then
Infiltrate and confront the governor.
infiltrate. Yeah.
yes, but I think you've sort of done it out of step because you're going to infiltrate, send Alban back with his guards to distract, start the fire, distract even further, and then rush the governor.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the plan.
These guys came up with that plan all by themselves, people.
Promise.
We smart.
So Alban sort of like he listens to
If all
you.
else fails, I can swoop.
Alban listens to your plan, and he sort of he goes through a spectrum of emotions, and he's sort of like, I suppose that could work. However, as I said, we'll have to move quickly.
Shall we
So
get going then?
Yeah.
Alright, so how did you get here? By boat?
I came along the beach. I recommend that you
That is the
return.
fastest way, right?
Yes, I will return to the mansion, to the governor's mansion, with my guards and say that you escaped the island. The four of you return and set fire to that hut as you intended. I will understand that is the signal. At that point, I will dispatch a number of guards to investigate. I will stay close to the governor. When you arrive, we will confront him together, and we will remove him from the island, or from his seat of power on the island.
Alrighty.
That sounds good.
Unfortunately, I will not have enough time to relay this information to the local leaders, so I will be doing this on my own behest, and I will take responsibility for it.
The responsibility will lie with us as well.
I'm sure they'll be able to help with the repercussions afterwards.
Well, hopefully there won't be that many. Once we have him deposed, I can start investigating his actions further.
Captain Gallowglass,
All else fails, you can always just blame it on us if it doesn't work. Say you were trying to help.
that too.
Aye, lass.
Would you be interested in joining us on getting rid of a corrupt low leader?
Are you asking me if I'm on board with you kicking him out of his fancy shindigs?
Yeah,
Will there be rum?
probably. We took some alcohol from the jail.
use.
Aye, lass. I think I could stretch my legs. Lads, look after the boat. And you just see that one automaton on the deck sort of like do a really weird salute to him. So he jumps off the boat onto the deck, onto the pier, and you saw hear a loud crick. And it's like, "Oh, I'm back." So you've gained a new party member for now.
Yay!
Do-do-do-do.
Oh no, we can't do that. We'll get sued.
All right.
Though I must tell you, Captain Gallowglass, maybe if you didn't sleep on the stairs, your back wouldn't be in such a bad way.
I'll keep that in mind, you feathery thing.
Why were you sleeping on the stairs?
I can't sleep in a bed anymore, lass. I have to be on a deck all times. Anyway, shouldn't we get Gannon?
Let's
Yeah.
go. I'm pumped up. Let's go.
So Allburn gathers up his men. One of them comes over after coming out of the marshal's office, this thing here, and hands him a piece of paper. And you saw it over here. The guards say to him, like, "I think they missed it on the original search, sir." And the captain, Allburn, looks over it a little bit and goes, interesting.
Will that be any of help to oust the governor, or is that something else?
Well, look for yourself." He hands you the piece of paper to you, Paul. Trill.
Oh, I give it a little read.
It is a log. It's a page of a log. It's from the town's marshal, and it literally states that a ship has pulled off the coast of the port, but it isn't displaying any flags or any colours, and it's not actually made any attempt to come up ashore or contact the town. He's never seen the ship before, and there's nothing else after that.
Oh.
Mystery ship.
Is it normal? Is it abnormal not to fly any kind of flag?
It is very abnormal. Every ship should display their colours and a mark of their intentions.
Is there a
Okay.
date on the note?
Sorry, what was that, Kimmy?
Is there a date on the note?
It's dated 3 days ago, so essentially when the
Okay.
town disappeared.
Suspicious. We'll have to
Something
hold
to
on
hold
to
on
that.
to.
Yeah.
So were you saying something else there, Kerry, or...?
Just the same.
Okay.
All right.
I'm guessing you're passing the piece of paper around everybody so they can have a look at it, Paul.
Yeah, as soon as I finish, I'll hand it off.
Okay.
Anything you want to add, Tiny?
I can't read. This is a nice bit of paper.
Do I eat
I
it?
take it back and I read it out loud to her so she knows what's happening.
Thank you, Trill.